Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Honor the day that our Lord commands us.
The way of He that called us, our Father in heaven that called us.
And we obey.
His is called the way. So He is not into religion. He didn't call us into religion. People that do religion or that follow way of religion are Gentile nations. So, in a nutshell, we want to learn about ourselves because we are the Israelites. Israelites are those who are called, who are chosen, who remain faithful in the sense that they hear His voice via the scriptures, the Bible, and they keep His covenant commandments as they follow Yahshua, our Messiah, on a daily basis. So whether you are a Gentile, that is from a hidden nation or hidden Gentile person is one who does not adhere to the covenant commandments, nor does the person follow the way of Yahweh. So that is a hidden nation or a Gentile person. Now, that is the way to become an Israelite. Hear His voice, keep His commandments, and follow Yahshua. So whether you're an Israelite or a Gentile or a Jew, a Jewish man, or whatever, from whatever category of human race, you become an Israelite if you comply by the word of Yahshua, word of Yahweh, and follow Yahshua, our Messiah. We have to move forward this morning, but before we move on, we have to look at what we studied last week. Last week we did mention that in these latter days Israel will be tried, and that trial is going to be based on a particular test format, and it is going to be picked up from the Ten Commandments. The Spirit was speaking to me this morning about Revelation chapter 3 verse 8 in particular, concerning that trial that is coming, the test of the whole world. And He revealed to me that the test, whereas Israel were tested in the wilderness by one of the Ten Commandments, in these latter days, Israel and the whole world is going to be tested by two of the Ten Commandments. And those two are in the Revelation chapter 3, verse 8, which states, I know thy works. Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it, for thou hast a little strength, and hast kept my word, and hast not denied my name. Kept His word, and not denied His name. Two tests there. One is on His word. His word is captured by the Ten Commandments, which is a summary of the Torah, the Tanakh, the Old Testament, and the renewed covenant. So the summary of the Old and New is in the Ten Commandments. That means we must have into our head all that Yahweh has said. And that's why he said to Israel, you must obey my voice and keep my commandments. Now, that means totality of the word. Then inside the totality of the word, looking at the summary of the whole word, the word he gave to us, which is the 10 commandments, he picked the third one, the third of the commandments. Before it was the fourth of the commandments. And somehow I believe that the two goes together, the third and the fourth, because you cannot do worship on the Sabbath day like this without mentioning his name, without going through his name, because by his name you are saved, by his name you pray, you worship, you praise, you do everything. So both goes together, but what it is tied on his name. There, it is tied on his name. Now, Exodus chapter 20 tells us, Exodus 20, verse 7, said, thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh thy Elohim in vain, for Yahweh will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. So, people will be tried based on his name. How did it affect the fourth commandment? Verse 8, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days, that is from Sunday, you begin your work and end it Friday. And Saturday you rest, which is Shabbat day. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day, which is Shabbat, is the Sabbath of Yahweh thy Elohim. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahweh made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. So we made reference also last week concerning the Creator, whom we are to worship. So Revelation chapter 3, in a nutshell, is also talking about worship. Because you worshipped him by his name, and you kept all his commandments. Therefore, he will protect you during the hour of trial that will come upon the whole world. Now, you look at chapter 14. The one that you are to worship, whom you bow yourself to his name, is clearly stated in that chapter 14, Revelation chapter 14, from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 up to 11 is the warning. Verse 7, it said that the hour of judgment is come, and worship him. So here it references chapter 3 of that Revelation chapter 3, 8 and 9 and 10. The hour of trial. So it's talking about the hour of trial. So when Israel will be tried, will be when this judgment, the whole world will be engulfed in a massive trial. So Israel will be judged, the whole world also will be judged. And that zeroed into chapter 13. If you flip back, you will see in chapter 13 Revelation chapter 13, 15 and 16, made mention of the beast, the lawless man. Now, the second beast that was mentioned in that chapter is false prophet, and he's going to make an image on behalf of the first beast. He's going to cause an image to be produced. So the first beast that was mentioned in chapter 13, 1 to 3, up to verse 4, we take glory, we take worship. Now, Revelation 3 is like telling us, in fact, that is it. Revelation 3:13 is emphasizing worship, the pillar of the trial. So if you don't know his name, somebody will be cut off. His name becomes vital there, because that is not what you deny. If you say you know him and that name you can't identify and you worship on that name, forget it. You'll be caught up in the trial. Somebody will be completely checked out, because you are required to worship him based on that name. Verse 7 of Revelation 14 says, saying with a loud voice, fear Elohim and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of waters. That is exactly what we read in Exodus 20. Who we must worship. Exodus 20, 8 to 11 told us that he made the heavens and the earth and the sea and the fountains of waters. That is worship. And that is where he commands us, remember Sabbath day to keep it holy. So it's all about worship. And you must know his name. My people shall know my name. That is what he said. So people argue that his name is not important. His name is absolutely important, because that is where he will hinge worship versus knowing whom one is worshiping. And that is where he warned us that the beast is coming with a mark. And we did mention last week that that mark is on also worship, which is the very day you worship him, Sabbath day. Sabbath day is the very test commandment, the very, crux of the trial. We must be very careful not to mix it up, because devil has concocted something for himself and took the first day, which is Sunday, and want everybody to bow to him on that very day. So that's why the whole warning is coming about. Now, we want to, from here, zero into how Israel is going to face the beast. This beast mentioned in Revelation chapter 13, 1, 2, and 3, is referenced to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. But let us look at what the Bible says in 13. The Bible says, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. So this beast that rose out from the sea here is referred as sea of heads. That is human population, human beings. It's not sea as per ocean or waters. No, it's human beings. So this beast rose from human population. That is to tell you that the lawless man or son of perdition or the wicked man that is going to come on board is going to catch up the whole world. He's going to be the commander of the whole world. He's going to rule the whole world. That's what it implies there. And he's going to lay hands, on nations that are against him. He's going to put them down. And there will be nations also, about 10 of them, that is going to give him powers, political powers, economic powers, religious powers, all the power he needs. They will submit their power to him. That's why he's going to be very, very strong, very, very powerful in everything. Anybody that will want to stand against him will be in trouble. Any nation that is going to stand against him is going to deal with them mercilessly. And we have figured out that it's going to come out from the old Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was, described as having two legs, the eastern side of it and the western side of it. Now, the West seemed to have been ruling and controlling for long. And the East has come on board at least one or two times. But in these latter days, it's going to revolve around Assyria. And when you look at the composition of Assyria today, you may include Germany, you may include Syria, you may include Turkey, you may include Russia. Something will be coming out from that axis as the configuration is unfolding. But this beast is going to be terrible against Israel. Let's face the facts. Let's look, back towards the Genesis. We are told that Yahweh began to search souls or people that will inherit the earth. From Adam to Noah. From Noah, he had 3 sons, Japheth, Shem, and Ham. And the whole world was literally formed from these 3 children, who, after the flood, they were only people on earth. Them and their father, their mother, and their wives. Now, children of Japheth are Caucasian, the whites. Children of Ham are the blacks, Israelites. The Egyptian, which is the Africans. That is children of Ham. Children of Shem are within the Palestinian area, between Iraq going towards Egypt. And that's why Yahweh says this is the boundary of Israel, because from Shem you found Heber. Heber later became Israel. And from Heber, Abraham was found by Yahweh. And from around Iraq, where he was living, Yahweh brought him into the Middle East, the Palestinian world, where he lived in the land of Canaan, he and his family. So from Abraham, Yahweh began to sort out seed that is going to occupy, inherit the earth. Israel holds the key of how the world is going to be. Yahweh wants the world to be like heaven. That is the idea behind creating the earth. He created it a place of habitation, a place where human beings will live and enjoy all the blessings, all the goodies, all the glory that Yahweh will, let into it. But the enemy or the adversary of Yahweh would not want to let go. So he plotted to take heaven, to overthrow Yahweh and rule and control heaven, so that the whole angels will be under his whims and caprices, under his control. He failed. He was cast out of heaven. So the only place left for him to occupy and to rule and control as before is the earth, because he had governed the earth before. Unfortunately, he misused it, he misruled it, and it was brought into disaster. And this is one of the reasons why Yahshua said that before the enemy will finish the earth again, he will quickly return so that the elect will be saved.
Amen.
So purposely because of Israel, the elect, Yahshua will come back as quickly as possible before the enemy will cause the destruction of the earth. Okay, right. So this is the setting that Yahweh is looking for people that has character, peculiar character, lovely character, character of obedience, character of meekness, character of goodness, character of love, character of peace that exudes with joy, character of faith. You need faith because you have to walk. And the kind of work you'll be doing is work that has faith. That requires faith. That means you need faith to do most of the unbelievable things. And you cannot do all those things without anchoring yourself completely, immersing yourself in him that called you, in Yahweh, Yahshua that called you. So Israel is going to be massively tested. 2 Thessalonians, we mentioned that. In 2 Thessalonians, we are told that the church of Thessalonians, or the assembly of Thessalonians, were at a time jittery because they felt Yahshua will soon come. People were preaching all those Judaizers, telling them to follow their ways, telling them, to make sure that they hold all the laws, including ceremonial law of circumcision. If they don't hold to circumcision, they will not enter into the kingdom when the Redeemer comes. But as they were afraid that something is going to happen to them, suddenly or before the gathering, the news got to Apostle Paul, who confided in them, telling them that they should not shake or be worried of anything at all, only that they should hold to the words, the teaching, what he has taught them concerning following what Yahshua commanded. And they should watch out. It is like showing them the timetable of what will happen in the last day, a snapshot. Now, the information is contained in verse 2, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that day of Messiah is at hand. Let no man deceive you. All those are deceivers that are coming to them, they should not be paying attention to them. And that is what this admonition applies to us. We should not be paying attention to anybody who do not know the covenant commandment way. For that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. So there will be a falling away first. And we know that since Yahshua came on this earth, gave, the word of Yahweh to us to pass to other Israelites scattered all over the world and to the Gentile world as well, there had been falling away, particularly when Roman government entered Jerusalem, conquered Jerusalem in 70 AD, brought down the temple. Many fell away. Many went into Islam. Many went into other religions, Judaism, as it were, Hindu, and so on. Wherever they scattered, wherever they ran into, and so on, maybe through affliction, through persecution, they joined the religion of the land. And Christians, already the Romans were the people who formed Christianity. They are the originator of Christianity. They formed it. They took it as their, as it became a state religion. They had their pagan religion quite all right. But that is the workings of Satan, because they want to get to Israel. They want to deal with Israel. Satan wants to strip Israel of knowledge, of understanding, so that they will join them and follow, do whatever they are doing. And Christianity at the end of the day became a mixture of the pagan religion and the Christian religion, as it were. Before you knew it, there were so many that failed. So many were absorbed into Christian religion. So many also were absorbed into Muslim religion. So that is the falling away. So this falling away has been, there for quite a long time. So that prophecy, I tell you, is fulfilled. But the one that is yet to be fulfilled is the second one, which says, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalts himself above all that is called Elohim, or Yahweh, or that is worshipped, so that he, as Elohim, sits in the temple of Elohim, showing himself that he is Elohim. So what he's saying is, this last prophecy that will happen in these latter days, which is facing us now, the coming in of the lawless man, the son of perdition, is that this guy, what he taught in Isaiah chapter 14 and Ezekiel chapter 28, where he dreaded to capture heaven, sat on the throne of Yahweh, sack Yahweh, sit on the throne, then control the whole angels, control heaven, that he intends, that is, Satan intends to do that, but via this beast. So Satan is not coming to walk the streets of the earth himself, but he will enter into human beings. His spirit is going to work it out for him. The spirit is going to do it for him. Now let us hear Apostle Paul again in Revelation chapter 13. Revelation chapter 13, where that was clearly mentioned, what this beast is going to do. Satan is going to give him power to do his work. We saw that the beast came out from the sea, out from the population of human beings of the earth. Verse 2 says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. So this is referencing Daniel chapter 7, 4 to 6. You have these three animals mentioned there. You saw leopard there, We saw what else again? Bear there, lion there, and we saw that lion represented Babylon. Leopard represented Medes and Persia, bear, Greeks, and so on. So the same configuration in Daniel chapter 7 is also shown here. But now, this is it. In these latter days, this bear is going to have the power from, Nebuchadnezzar. That is the first power, which was represented by the lion. Then, this beast also is going to amass the power of Medes and Persia. This beast is also going to amass the power of Greeks. And already, it's the Roman Empire, the last power. So all the power is going to be configured into him. Now, this is why he's going to be so powerful. He's going to have knowledge because he's been from old, from the ancient to the last day or last days. So the power is going to be so enormous that nobody is going to challenge him. And that's why he's going to crisscross the whole world and capture virtually every part of the world and control them. Verse 3 says, "And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast." Why? Now, this beast, with all the power, also is going to have power for miracles, signs and wonders. People will believe him for what he is doing, by the enormous authority he has amassed from the dragon. Daniel said that the last beast is going to rule not by his power, but by the power of the dragon. That is, this dragon is Satan the devil. He's going to give him his power, as we read there in verse 2. And the dragon gave him, that is the beast, his power and his seat and great authority. So with this great power, this great authority, sitting on the seat of Satan. So where would the seat of Satan be at that time? It's going to be in Jerusalem. I tell you that Israel is target in everything that is happening in this world. No matter what you look at, how you look at it, socially, economically, religiously, Israel is either being pursued to be subdued, or Israel is being pursued, to live whatever he believes. So as Israelite, what are you going to do? Having been told that there is trial coming, this trial is going to be executed by the beast. Great tribulation. This trial will be done during this great tribulation time. The beast is going to make sure he catch up with Israel and deal with Israel. Now, he will form a confederacy. Daniel chapter 9. Daniel chapter 9. Mommy, open to me. Isaiah 8:12. I get Daniel chapter 9. In Daniel chapter 9, we are told of the coming world government. Bible told us about one world government. People don't know about it, though they've been singing and talking about it. But this is prophecy. This is in the scriptures. And that is what these people are working out. Coronavirus is part of the game, part of the agenda to achieve it. Though the people that trigger it may be triggering it out of money. They want to get money. They want to control the economy. They want to control, the whole universe with their money. Or they want to empower themselves to become another America, that is China. Maybe this they are thinking because it's in their house in Wuhan that this thing was, plotted. But at the end of the day, you see that there are those whose heart is to form one world government via the workings of the dragon. The dragon puts it in their spirit and they've been working it out. So when all this, the parameter and everything is ready, this beast will show up, will come on board. So we want to look at what Daniel said concerning the confederacy. Daniel chapter 9 verse 27. Is it 27 there? Let me see. Okay, and he shall confirm the covenant with many. Who will confirm? The beast will confirm the covenant with many. That is Israel. For 1 week, and in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease, and for the overspreading of abominations, he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. So, he would have formed his government. Under his government, by the time he starts in his government, it will take him 7 years. And in the middle of that 7 years, he will break agreement he's going to make with Israel. Because before he will enter Israel to have his seat there, he will reach agreement with them. They will accept it. And 3.5 years in the midst of his government, he will break that agreement, the covenant he made with Israel. He will break it, and he will want to destroy Israel. Because Israel now will wake up and say, you are not a Messiah. He will command Israel to worship him. That image would have been made. And the mark of the beast, that is, whatever he's using to signpost that mark, would have been given out to Israel and the whole world. So Israelites will reject it. The true Israelites will reject it. And he'll go after them. And many will be cut off. Many Israelites will be cut off and dealt with. Isaiah 8:12. Read it for me if you are there. What is your...
Isaiah 8:12.
Yeah.
Say ye not, a confederacy, to all them that whom these people shall say, a confederacy, neither fear ye their fear, nor be afraid.
Okay. Do not be afraid. Israel, you are told, because the confederacy is coming. And don't join. Don't be part of this formation of one world government. We are warned. Never be part of it. Now, how will somebody be part of it? You may say, oh, okay, I will not be part of it, but I'm focusing with my scriptures. I follow my... Now, papacy, the Pope, is going around the whole world speaking to the religious leaders that they should come together because they want to achieve peace in the world. Want to use them to achieve peace. But the agenda is not peace. Bible said when they talk peace, be careful. Because underneath is something else. War. Could be war. Could be something that is, beyond their knowledge. So there is sinister act in designing something that looks like, oh, it will usher us peace. Underneath, that is deception. There is something that is planted you may not know. It's all about lies to achieve their goal. Now, papacy is preparing a confederate religious union whereby he will be in charge, a universal church where he will be the administrator, or the fathers as they call him. They will give him all enormous powers. So he will control the whole religion of the world. And from there he can make law that binds all religion in the world. So whether you're inclusive or outside. Now, all that is, organized to help the beast. Because if the religious figures are not captured, the one world government will not be fruition. It will be difficult to achieve. Because through religion, human beings are controlled. Majority of human beings in this life is under one religion or the other. So when you get them together, put them as a body, and one person controls them, then for them to make a law, whatever law, will be easier for them. So that is the goal, and that goal is being put in place, and they are almost succeeding. Very soon, this year, they will sign a part or agreement, agreeing that they are now one, under one God. So Yahweh is saying, be careful so that you don't join them. So this is the mark of the beast. This is one world government or one world religion. Be careful, because all of them are clustering under one goal. Now, there is this power that is coming out. There is something we have to watch out. Because Yahweh is helping us to understand ourselves, our environment, those that are leading, that is the government in the day, and what that may be coming out from them. So all the knowledge comes from the scriptures. And that's why when we are holding to the scriptures, we're able to discover so many things that we need to know. Knowledge is power. So when you have knowledge, the next move is that Yahweh will help you to walk in the right steps. Now, this power that is coming, the beast, we have said is going to come from Roman territory, in the eastern side of it, the eastern side of the leg, one of the legs, which is called the east, is going to emerge. And Daniel again, chapter 8, 20-26, gave us a hint. Daniel Daniel chapter 8, 20-26. Verse 20 says, the ram which thou sawest, having two horns, are the kings of Media and Persia, and the rough goat is the king of Gracia, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. Now, that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. That 4 kingdoms refer to Greece, the Alexandria kingdom. And in the later time, this is Roman Empire now, and even at the later time we are at the later time of the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire has gone into quietness because it's like broken, but it's healing. So by the time the healing takes place, this beast will emerge, because he is going to be the controller of what will happen. Now, that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. And in the later time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up.
Oh dear.
So you find out that from this Roman down to these last days, which Romans still have anchor power, where the little horn is removed and operating. The little horn is papacy, the Vatican. Now, it's going to come with wisdom, worldly wisdom, wisdom to manipulate, wisdom to do all manner of things. You cannot escape it. And this is talking about the technology of today. Are you getting it? A king of fierce countenance is going to rule with all these technological inputs that are being put in place today. They are setting them up and understanding dark sentences. So things that are hidden, because it's not as wise as Yahweh or Yahshua that can read somebody's. You can look at somebody, you understand exactly what the person is all about, what the person is thinking, what is the person want to do and will not want to do. So he will use technology to get to that. He will use technology to know, when they put that chip inside the body of somebody, it will help to explain to the power what who every individual is, and your data, the sicknesses, even how sicknesses can come up, and what the person can do to get cured. All those things are going to come in place with all the so-called chips and with their designing.
Okay.
So all that dark understanding of his is going to put in place, and he's going to use it to capture the world. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. So he is going to have power, but the power is not going to be from him. It's going to be from the dragon. The dragon is going to give him all the power, as we saw in Revelation 13. And he's going to use that power to destroy so much. He will prosper. Whatever he wants to do, nobody will stop him. Anything he wants to do, he will be so powerful. Then he will practice iniquity. So 3.5 years, he will showcase iniquity. He will, cause that image to come into place, so that people will worship him and serve him. So he will destroy the mighty and the holy people. The many kings will fall. Princes will fall. This mighty here, some Bible will translate as prince or princess. So some princes, queens, kings will go down. Who will say no? Because not everybody will say yes to his government. So he will put them down. Now, he will go after the people of Yahweh, Israel, the holy people. And Jerusalem is going to be target. And all the people of Yahweh that are all over the world, scattered Israelites, whether you are from Jewish tribe, or from Israel, or a believer in Yahweh, in Yahshua, that is a Gentile person who has been grafted into Yahshua. So he's going to look for them, because they will not like his government. They will not subscribe to what he's teaching or what he's telling the world to do. They will, more especially, they will not buy to worship of his idol. And they will not subscribe to, using his name to buy and sell. So he will summon his soldiers, his police. In fact, the world will be kind of police state. He will use police so much, the armies, all the military, and with all their surveillance. And his power shall be mighty. All right, verse 25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy. By peace shall destroy many. He will say peace, 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 peace. He will preach peace. He will say, Israel, don't worry, let there be peace in the Middle East, in the Palestinian land. Peace between you and Muslim people or other people who are there. You can build their temple, fine, no worries. So they will build their temple, they will continue to live their life. 3.5 years, they will stop everything. And he will position the image of abomination as referred by Yahshua in Daniel chapter 24. Yahshua said, when you will see that image, the end has come. Because what will be left is 3.5 years. So everything will be closed off. He will return. So that is a marker. When that image is built or constructed and placed in the temple, abomination that make desolate, know ye that the end is unto everybody's neck. And I believe at that time, Yahweh is going to sort out his children.
Amen.
He's going to sort them out. And those who are not measuring up are going to be tested. So the test is going to hit mainly Israelites that are not focused, Israelites that are wishy-washy, Israelites that do not know their left and their right, and do not, serve him effectively, because they cannot enter the land. In fact, the land, that is why Israel is called a holy land, the land of Israel. It's holy. You cannot carry all the iniquity and the unrighteous manner or way or character of the world or the Gentile into Israel. God, Yahweh has been trying to refine Israel. He's been making sure that that land is cleansed of every form of evil, sin, iniquity. So that's why those who are Israelites, they have to pass through a test. And they will pay so much. They will be killed, but they will be saved. So that's only how they are going to. Why? Look at Revelation chapter 3. The lukewarm church. He warned them. Read that particular Revelation chapter 3 about the lukewarm church, the Laodicean church. He made mention of this, trial. He made mention of the time like this. And also the church of Thyatira. In fact, all those churches, Ephesian churches and all that, they are going to face this particular period. So we find out that many of the people that this thing will affect are Israelites. And some Israelites that are into other religions who have not come into knowledge of his name and keeping the whole covenant commandments. It's going to be serious. It's going to be a serious matter. And Yahweh will allow that, because it's not the making of Yahweh. But Satan is going to put all this up, but Yahweh will allow it. So that he will want to know those who are strictly qualified to enter the land. Because where Yahweh is going to come, Bible call it woes, and the wrath of Yahweh is when he's going to deal with the unbelievers. When he's going to deal with the beast, the false prophet, and Satan himself. And that is Revelation chapter 16. In fact, Revelation chapter 9 talked about that. Revelation chapter 16 as well. So that is where Yahweh is going to come on board to handle the world. That's where he's going to punish, if you like, call it punishment. Going to punish the world. But for the Great Tribulation, is this beast that is going to, use it to capture Israel. And that's why we are hammering about Israel. So that we know what is in place, what they are planning, what they are cooking. And in fact, so that we know how to get ourselves prepared. You don't need to be lukewarm. You don't need to be unserious. Because we are not called into any other business. It's how we are going to save our lives. First of all, save your life before pursuing business, before pursuing money. Because you are not going anywhere with money. You are not going anywhere with material things, possessions. If Yahshua said, pray, your flight will not be in winter or in Sabbath day. So if your flight, say tomorrow everybody is checking out, are you going to carry your building on your head? Are you going to carry? I'm not saying you should not make your money. That's not what I'm saying. But if you put your heart there, it becomes mammonism. Worship of money, worship of idol, that worship of Satan, because mammon is all about Satan worship. So it is idol. Don't pay attention to it. Allow Yahshua to help you get what you need. For you to escape, for you to live, and when it is time for you to run, you'll be able to understand. Because all these things we are talking about is how we understand what is in place, what has been prophesied that will come in our presence tomorrow. Because Bible said, generation that we see all these troubles, all these calamities, all the evils that Yahweh prophesied in Matthew 24, Luke 21, Mark 13, that generation, we see he's coming back. So what have we not seen? This our age or generation or time, what have we not seen as signs that Yahshua pronounced? So it behoves you to pay attention to his word. Revelation chapter 17, the same beast with his act of evil that is bringing in place. He came from a territory and a place. Let us look at those who will accompany him to do his work. 17, 10 and 11. 17, 10 and 11. 17, 10 and 11. And there are 7 kings. They will assist him, this beast. 5 are fallen, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. If you look at your Bible, I don't know whether it's in the Bible you have there, page 1971, 1971. You will see 8 kings of Revelation. Now, you will see those that are gone, they have fallen. Now, there was a time Egyptians ruled, you see the dates there. There was a time the Assyrians ruled, you see the dates there. There was New Babylonian. Now, Babylonian was where, what's his name? Daniel began to get understanding about the last governments of the world. The last government that will come in place. Then there is Persian. They have ruled. There's Greek or Grecians. They have ruled. Now the last is the Roman Empire. And in that Roman Empire said, the East is waiting. The East is waiting. One is fallen, other is yet to come on board. And it did tell us that it will be the 80th one, but that 80th one is also of the. Now, verse 11 says, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. Now, the beast that was and is not, even is the 8th and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. Now, there was a time the, what do they call them? The empire of the Turkey. What do they call them? There's a name. I've forgotten the name of that. Ottoman Empire. It's called the Ottoman Empire. It's part of Roman Empire. Now that axis is going to wake up again. And they are part of the Eastern Roman Empire. It's going to wake up again, and it's going to be joined with all these other 10 nations or 9 nations, and they are going to accomplish the task that is awaiting. Now, let us see this beast. David mentioned about this beast. In Psalm 83, some people say it has been accomplished, but I don't see where yet in the history of Israel where that is accomplished, because all these people are confederacy that align themselves against Israel. So these nations, the 10 of them that will join with the beasts, their heart desire is to cut off Israel, sweep Israel away. Psalm 83, keep not silence, Israel seems to be praying. O Elohim, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, your enemies make a tumult. They are congregating to fight Israel. They are restive. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Did you hear that? So, right from time, Yahweh have been trying to get a nation that will indeed teach the whole world how to live Yahweh type of life. Glorious life, righteous life, holy life, and to make a world a paradise, make the world like heaven. And there is this enemy that is saying that it is his place. So he wants to overthrow anything that has the name of Yahweh, or anything that is associated to holiness or righteousness. So he has been mustering powers right from time. All these people all these powers we have seen, from Egypt to Babylon, Assyria, Babylon, Medes and Persia, Greece, to Roman Empire. It's been what this power, Satan and his beasts, have been doing, trying to cut off Yahweh's presence on earth. Will he succeed? At a time he went to submerge the earth. He went to destroy the earth. But Yahweh will not let go. So this is Israel, I and you, in these last days, calling the hands of Yahweh. That these people, their plan is to do what? To cause them to disappear from the world. Coronavirus, you think it's not only just for them to make money. The agenda of Satan is to catch up Israel. And that's why you need to be marked by Yahweh. Sealed by Yahweh. This is why you need to eat the flesh and drink the blood of Yahshua via the symbol of bread and the wine. So that as you participate in the feast of Passover and unleavened bread and other feasts, you will be counting yourself ready, because you will be keeping the covenant commandment, the Sabbath day. Keep it holy every time. So in that act of obedience, you will be marked. You'll be separated from other people, from the world, so that when plagues, pestilences, diseases are on board, because you are marked, it will not kill you. It will not harm you. That is the reason. So here, Israel is praying and calling Yahweh. Look at what they are planning. Look at what they are doing. In fact, Yahweh has alerted us in Psalm chapter 2. The congregation, the assembly of these leaders, world leaders, their princes and the power that be, their governors and the presidents, how they are organizing to undo, to destroy, to take away anything that has Israelites' semblance. Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asshur also is joined with them. Who is Asshur? I made mention because these are the old names, and today they are scattered here and there. Some are found in Germany, some are found in Turkey, some are found in Russia. So that axis will congregate again, joining hands with these people, the Edom, Ishmaelites, Hagarenes. Hagarenes is Egypt, Arabs, southern Jordan, Lebanon, northern Jordan, Amalek, Philistines, Tyre, Asshur, children of Lot, Jordan. Okay, I say children of Lot are Jordan. So Asshur is found within the axis of Syria and Iraq, but I tell you that they have spread. The ancients, they have, people of old, they migrated a lot. So between Germany, did you see that during, what was that? That Germany allowed most of the Syrian people to enter into their land. They admitted so many of them entered Germany. So you can see that migration of old continued even in these last days. So when Syria was in turmoil, a lot of them migrated to Germany, and Germany absorbed them. So if you see Germany rising up again, aligning with Russia, don't be surprised. Okay, that is the axis or the power that is going to rise up in these last days. They are going to congregate against Israel. That is just the point. Now, with understanding of power of iniquity and do so many silly things, Israel, wherever they are going to be monitored, they are going to be cut off. But there is protection coming for Israel.
Amen.
There is protection coming for Israel. Let's look at something in Daniel chapter 11, verse 36. Daniel 11:36. Who is going to occupy the temple that is going to be built in these latter days? And the king shall do according to his will, and he shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak marvelous things against the Elohim of gods, and shall prosper till the indignation be accomplished, for that is determined shall be done. I'm still talking about the beast, prospering in wickedness, and how fierce he's going to be to stand against the children of Yahweh to cut them off. We saw that in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 4, Revelation 3 verse 4. And he's going to rule by the power of dragon, as we saw there, Revelation 13 2 to 4. No man will have power to defeat him. He's going to defeat everybody, because the whole world will say there is no one like this power. There was no one like the beast. It's going to be, people will appreciate him. Majority of human beings will appreciate him because they are going to like the style of his government. Worldly people, that is what they like. That's what they love. But you and I, who knows the heart of our Father, that holiness is what we are to pursue, we will not like such power, character, and attitude is going to exhibit. So many fallacious things will be decreed. Daniel 11, 20, 21 and 32. 21 and 32. And in his estate shall stand up a vile person to whom they shall give the honor of the kingdom, but he shall come in peaceably and obtain the kingdom by flatteries. So he will speak sweet things 3.5 years at the beginning of his kingdom, but at the end he's going to lie and deceive so many and cut off so many. And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries, but the people that do know their Elohim shall be strong and do exploits. That is that agreement. But those that know Yahweh and has gotten all these revelations that Yahweh is exposing us into, they will understand the tricks and plots of this power. And surely Yahweh will keep them safe. He will break the covenant, and he will, at the end of the day, cause everybody to worship him. Now, we again zero into the area of the beast, inviting the whole world for worship. The whole world idea behind the rule of the beast is to position Satan to receive worship, which he has been craving since creation. Isaiah 14, 1 to 31 capture this very well. Isaiah 14. Now, will Yahweh sit and be quiet and look this enemy to harass Israel, destroy Israel, cut off Israel, and the name of Israel will not be there again? Now, Yahweh has been preparing Israel right from the beginning or before the foundation of the earth was laid. He won't let this enemy to destroy Israel. Now, Yahweh said that he's going to do something concerning that situation. Isaiah chapter 14. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob. Because Jacob cried, Israel cried, and said, Yahweh, do not allow this happen. They want to cut Jacob, Israel, out of the planet Earth. And all their labor will be in vain. If they do that, if they succeed, that is it. And that is why Yahweh said, do not keep quiet, continue to pray. Because your help, if we don't pray, we can't get help. If we pray, heaven will come and intervene for us. That's how it works. That's why he said, pray, pray, pray. Fast, 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 fast. You are calling the hand of Yahweh. You are inviting. This is the earth is for man. Heaven is not a place for man. Get it right. Even before Yahweh, who is Elohim, came in the person of his son, Yahshua, the Word himself, he had to come in flesh. If he had come as Yahweh, that would be crisscrossing. Satan would have queried that. Because Yahweh is a righteous judge. So he doesn't take anybody's right. He knows our right. He knows how to give individuals their rights. Satan has his right. You can't take it away from him. And Satan knows that Yahweh has his right. So he cannot go contrary. Though he's a rebellious person. But then, he knows his boundary. When he gets to a certain point, he stops. So, we need to pray at all times. And that's why, in the time of old, even in the time of Noah, till David, up to this today, people of Yahweh has not stopped praying. And we are encouraged to pray every now and then. Joel chapter 2 also say, invite everybody, family, the entire assembly. Everybody should pray. Both the pastors, the priest, whoever that is available there. Pray, because trouble that we are talking about here is coming. So that we get strength from heaven. Angel Michael, Angel Gabriel, when he was sending message to Daniel, it was through Daniel's prayer that was achieved. But still, the prince of Persia blocked the airways, blocked them coming in, blocked heaven and earth, until Michael moved in and confronted the prince of Persia. So that was when Gabriel was able to come in. That's why you need to fast. Fast amplifies prayer more. Now, Yahweh is now talking here. Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. So Israel will continue to be the choice of Yahweh. Even in these latter days. No matter what, Israel will continue to be the choice. And set them in their own land. So not just choosing them, but he will set them in their own land. People who doesn't know that there is second Exodus, they should read it here. They should read it here. In fact, Isaiah 14 is all about Yahweh, delivering Israel from the hands of Satan and the beasts of what they're going to. And at the end of the day, Israel will rule the earth.
Amen.
It's a ding-dong affair. What is happening? Ding-dong affair. Who rule? Who control? The children of the seed of the righteous, the seed of Yahweh, or the seed of Satan. Because two seeds, are fighting to, one want to dominate the other, one want to take over. So where do you belong? No matter what you are professing, the religion where you are, you belong in a particular seed. If you are not covenant keeper, you are not an Israelite. Two nations are crafted, as I said earlier. Two nations out of the children of Noah. Two nations. Japheth and Ham seem to be gentile world. The white Europeans and the Africans, Egyptians, and so on. They are more or less within the gentile environment. Now, the other part of the world, the Middle East, so-called, the Palestinians, is where Shem is found. Shem is where Abraham comes from. So two people, two seeds. The Gentile world is fighting the Israelites. So that is the war we see. That is the problem. One want to take over. But unfortunately, because of Israel sinning against Yahweh, they are put down. They become tail. They are no longer head. So, Gentile world rose on top of them and rule them, control them, hold them captive. And Yahweh said it will continue like that until Israel clean their eyes, wipe out sins in them, and say, I will not transgress against their law or commandments again. I'm ready to return. By that time, that will be when all these things that is happening will be brought together and almost becoming the trouble of the world that will cut off the world, particularly Israel. They will repent at that time and they will be ready to go. And that repentance is taken off gradually. And set them in their own land, and the strangers, who are the strangers, shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Now, this is it. If you are an Israelite, a covenant keeper, you must endeavor to follow the voice of Yahweh, which is recorded in the scriptures, and the commandments of Yahweh, which is recorded in the Bible we are holding. That is one seed, the seed that professes righteousness. one group of people. The second group of people, the Gentile that I mentioned, now they don't go by the Bible, but some part of them who infiltrated inside them, the Israelites that infiltrated inside them and have become Gentile, those who do not know the true Yahweh, who does not call his name, who does not take to the covenant commandments, most of them will wake up in these last days and they will come to the covenant knowledge and they will become Israelites. So that is how most of the Gentiles will cross over. I believe that they are Israelites by nature. So they will be Israelites. So other nations out there, other people in other religion, whatever name of the religion, because the covenant keepers are not in religion. So those other nations, the hidden nations, the Gentile nations, they will assemble themselves, join themselves into this one world government that is being talked about. And Yahweh will go after them. By that time, there will be revision. The pyramid, which is on now, will be reversed. Israel now become the head. Because when Yahweh intervened for his people, take over the government, the massive power, the image that Daniel interpreted, which now accumulates into one figure, the lawless man will be cut off and his government will be cut off. And Yahshua will come and sit on this earth. That is Psalm chapter 2. If you read Psalm chapter 2, that will be telling you that. And part of it is also here, verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. So Israelites now in their land, when Yahweh has come to restore them, Yahshua has come to restore them, put them in the land of Israel. Now, most of the Gentile people will go with them. Most of them also will, after hearing the way of Yahweh. If you look at Isaiah chapter 2, 2 to 4, he said, let us go to the mountain of Yahweh to learn his way. So they will come and learn the way of Yahweh. Most of them will not want to go back. So they will be made slaves. Because there will be law. If you are not an Israelite, you come into the land, there is law that will determine how you are going to live in the land. And they will be they will be ready to be slaves. As the Gentile world, as Israelites who are scattered all over the world, Africa, India, America, and so on. Particularly those who are in subcontinents of Africa, Asia. They want to come into Europe. They want to go into America. This Gentile world that are ruling the world today. So that is how it's going to reverse at that time. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids. Did you hear that? And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. So there are going to be revision. Revision, call it of faith. You that is suffering today, tomorrow you will eat. You will enjoy yourself. You will be free. You will not be in bondage. Socially, politically, economically, you will not be in bondage. And that's why Yahweh is saying, run now. Now is not the time for you to be looking to the left or to the right, or to be chasing shadows. Most of us are chasing shadows. Call it to possess the world, to own the whole material things. No, you may lose your life. If you continue doing that, you may lose your life. Yahweh is warning you about that. And they shall rule over their oppressors. So today we are being oppressed. Tomorrow we will not be oppressed. He will deliver us and put us in that land. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall give rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou has been made to serve. All the pain, all the sorrow, all the bondage, all the anguish, Yahweh will remove them and reverse it, even upon the head of those who hate us. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. The king of Babylon is who? This beast that fronts for this beast that fronts for the dragon, and say, how has the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Yahweh has spoken. Yahweh has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the ruler. So Yahweh is going to do it. This is prophecy. It's going to come into play, and Israelites will be freed. Israelites will be freed. We want to consider two issues about Israel, because we want to, help our brethren out there to understand what is going on concerning not being effective, not being fervent, not being serious. Daniel 11:35 gave us sense of what will be happening to those who are not serious now. 35. And some of them of understanding shall fall, to try them and to purge and to make them white, even to the time of the end, because it is yet for a time appointed. This is yet time appointed. 2 Thessalonians 2:3-4. Apostle Paul told the Thessalonians, don't worry, all these things will come at the time appointed, particularly in the latter days. So we are facing we are the generation that is facing the latter days prophecy. So what is he saying? Some of them of understanding shall fall. Who are those that have understanding that shall fall? To try them and to purge and to make them white even to the time of the end. Who are they? Because it is yet for a time appointed. Now they shall be, Revelation chapter 3 talk about trial. They shall be tried. And that trial is to get them purged. I mentioned that before. So that they will be made white. They will be cleansed. They will be refined. They will be made holy. That is the purpose. Because they are not holy yet. This set of people, they are not pursuing righteousness. Though they are Israelites. But they are not pursuing righteousness. They are not pursuing the holiness of Yahweh. They don't want to be clean. They don't want to be pure. Their heart, they don't want to renew their heart. They are still chasing money. Material things. Don't say I'm overflogging this thing. I'm not overflogging anything, because it's difficult to enter into the ears. Most times you talk and talk, somebody may think somebody's wasting time. But these people who think the message that he's hearing is a waste of time, when the time comes, the person will face it, because the person will pay with his blood. That's why the emphasis is being re-echoed. Daniel chapter 12 verse 10. Daniel 12 verse 10. Many shall be purified and be made white and tried. Did you hear that again? But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. But the wise shall understand. The wise. Now, who are the wise? Those that hear the voice of Yahweh, those that keep his covenant commandments. They are wise. They are exceptionally wise people. They are not those author of life. You don't turn your your eyes to the left or to the right. It must be him. So this is what most of them are lacking. Some of them are still professing. They call his name and all that. But they are not so seriously dedicated. So John 7:17 gave us a tip there. John 7, for us to decode who these people are. people that, have understanding, but the understanding is not fit for purpose. Because there are other things in their heart. No matter what you say, no matter what you preach, you are talking to yourself. John chapter 7:17. If anyone wills to do his will, if anyone wills to do his will, what is John talking about? Yahshua himself talking about, because it's Yahshua that is making this pronunciation. If any man will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of Elohim or whether I speak of myself. Yahshua was talking about the commandments, the doctrine of the Father. The doctrine of the Father is the way of the Father. The doctrine of the Father is encapsulated in Torah, in the law. That's what he was preaching to them. He was opening their eyes for them to understand. Then, so if anyone wills, if any man, if any person is ready to come and to absorb, to put his word into his head and have understanding, the person also will have advantage of knowing the very word, and he that sent him to preach the word. John chapter 8, verse 47. 8:47. He that is of Yahweh heareth Yahweh's words. Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not of Yahweh. Who do not hear him? The same Israel, or the Jewish people, they were the people, they are still called Israelites. Because when I use Israel, I use Israel, both Jews and the Gentile, the Israelites scattered, and also the Gentile that has come to be grafted in. So all are Israelites. There's no another body called Christians or Muslims that is a body that will go to heaven. Then others will remain here on earth while they are destroyed. No. That is not the teaching of the scriptures. There's no rapture, by the way. That has been hammered several times. So, they do not come to him so that they will hear, they will receive the word. All those rebellious Jewish leaders, most of them are leaders. They're in the church or in the assembly. They sit at the most important seats, the front side of the, so that they'll be noticed. Yahshua warned us about them. Matthew 23. You must be careful about them. Here, we are getting understanding that these people are lukewarm. Mentioned that before. They are lukewarm. Zechariah 13 verse 9. I will bring the 1/3 through the fire. Those Israelites, in the whole of them, 1/3 will be brought through the fire. Because Yahweh said 2/3 will be dealt with, will be wiped out. Then 1/3 will also be refined. The 1/3, the remnants that will be taken, into refinement. They will go through fire. I will refine them. I'm reading Zechariah 13 verse 9. I will refine them as silver is refined, and test them as gold is tested. We'll be hearing this trial, testing, refining, purging, and so on. And we are asking, who are they? They are the lukewarms. Because if you judge yourself, no man will judge you. Is it not what the Bible said? The Bible said in I think it's in 1 Corinthians, judge yourself, Now is when we judge ourselves. You can't judge yourself when you have not learned how to judge yourself. You must learn how to judge yourself. Because if you judge yourself, you will not face judgment tomorrow. 1 Corinthians 11 verse 28. But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of the bread and drink of the cup, that cup. For he that eats and drinketh unworthily eats and drinketh judgment to himself, not discerning the master's body. You don't come and eat the master's meal without cleansing, without judging yourself, without examining yourself. Do that. Having examined yourself, you find yourself guilty, purge yourself. It's you that is doing it yourself. But don't wait until this trying time when you will be judged, when another person will examine you. That examination you cannot escape. The person will not escape. For this cause, many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep. For if we would judge ourselves, verse 31, we should not be judged. If we judge ourselves, no man will judge us. That is the criteria. That's how to go about it. So, the weak, the lukewarm, those that play with the word of Yahweh today, those that are supposed to be children of Yahweh, yet they run into other religion, they will face this particular portion of scripture squarely. Daniel 11:34. And that's why I said, if you have a relative or somebody who is in Christianity, who is in Islam, who is in other religion, cry for them, pray for them, weep and ask Yahweh to touch their heart, to have understanding. Because they may be Israelites by seed, because everybody's mixed up now, but Yahweh says he knows his people. So if by seed, by birth, you are an Israelite, wherever you may be living, and you have joined this religion of the world, the person will be like somebody that has understanding but without, adequate, proper, informed knowledge. Israelites, that's what Apostle Paul said. That Israelites are zealous for Yahweh, to follow him, to worship him, but they don't have knowledge. Knowledge of what? When he speaks, you see, people do not know that what is here is authority. The commanding authority of Yahweh is final. The word of Yahweh, which is in the scriptures, Bible, is final. Some people don't know about that. So they don't have knowledge. That is not knowledge. Honestly, we're supposed to know what is right, what is not right, what is good, what is not good. So they don't know that it is not good to violate the word of Yahweh. Because they don't know that every word that comes out from the mouth of Yahweh is authority. Must be obeyed, must be believed, because that is our food, the word that comes from Yahweh. If anybody tells you anything outside the word of Yahweh, the person is destroying you. Person want to tell you to believe something outside the word of Yahweh. Let's zero into some examples. In Christianity, they are taught Trinity. The word of Yahweh didn't teach Trinity. Christianity, they are teaching people about rapture. The word of Yahweh didn't teach rapture. All those things that men, the traditional commandments of men, brought into their, church as a set of doctrine, and they believe it, rather than believing the word of Yahweh from the Bible, we cause them to be in trouble. So they are zealous, quite all right, You see them worshiping, oh, fantastic. You see them jumping up, you see them running up and down, you see them doing a run because they are doing worship. Fantastic. Zealous. But without knowledge. If running up and down is not within the confine of the word of Yahweh, it is a waste. Waste of time. Waste of energy. That you've believed and believed wrongly. And those who are traveling into that situation need to be prayed for. Need to be helped. Because they don't know what they are doing. Those who are lukewarm to his word or weak are those that Daniel chapter 11:35 and Daniel chapter 12:10 is talking about or warning about. Those who are in household of faith but not fully obedient. Now, this set of people, they lack covenant trait or character that Yahweh has given to his assembly. Total knowledge requires us, to profess Yahweh and Yahshua. We must know him. It's a commandment. We must know him and know him by his name. They do not know his name. Knowledge of his name is essential. Zechariah 13 verse 9. Somebody open to us Zechariah 13 verse 9. Knowledge of his name. We should not joke with his word. We must know him by his name. Otherwise, we will miss the way. Zechariah 13 verse 9. And I will bring the third part through the fire. Did you hear that? That is the people that is going to go through the trouble. And will refine them as silver is refined. When they were being told and taught about who Yahweh is, who Yahshua is, they said, no! His name is Jesus. Jesus never existed in the day of Mary, and Joseph, let alone calling their son that name. He said, my people must know my name. So if you don't know his name and you associate Gentile, that is what Gentiles put together in their own religion and want us to believe that that is the truth. But that is not the truth. It's not in this scripture, because whereas you see it in the scripture, the Lord from Genesis to Revelation and Jesus in New Testament, it is conjuncted together, planted in here for you to go astray. Do not add, do not subtract. In fact, in John chapter 5:43, Yahweh says they will go after another name instead of him. And that's what happened. What happened? And will refine them as silver is refined, and they will try them. And will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name. So after refining them, after proving them through all manner of, they will go into prison, they will go into captivity, they will go into torture, they will be dead to it, they will be killed. Now they will now know that what the assemblies, the congregation of Yahweh was teaching them is true. By the time they wake up from during resurrection, they will now believe the truth. They will now believe the truth. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them and will say, it is my people. Yeah, my people. He knows his people. When his people call his name, he knows who is calling. When other people associate him with another name, he doesn't even hear, he doesn't pay attention. But it's not his name. I mentioned this last week. And they shall say, Yahweh is my Elohim. So, that is what relates us together. Hosea chapter 2, 16 to 17. Hosea 2 is saying that when now he takes Israel going to the wilderness, he will do what? He will try them there, and they will suddenly wake up to realize that he is their husband. He is Yahweh, their maker. Malachi chapter 2 verse 3, repeated the sentence. So these people are the people who have fallen out from his name, from the knowledge of what Sabbath worship is. They are into Sunday worship, they are into Friday worship of Muslim kind of, all these people into other religion who are Israelites. This matter is about them. Daniel chapter 11 and 35, Daniel 12 verse 10 is warning that they should step out and listen, because trouble is coming. The beast is against the children of Yahweh. His target is to cut off anybody. In fact, because Yahweh will not protect any Israelite who is not having understanding, who is not wise. There's no protection. Here we are talking about how Israel is going to be protected. You can see that Israel is putting their hands on their heads and crying, Yahweh, they want to finish your people. They want to finish Israel, and there will be no remembrance of Israel again. Come and help. And when Yahweh wants to come and help, and he sees that most of us are lukewarm, what will he do? Yahshua swore in Revelation chapter 3. Let's go there. Those people will not find solace. Because the only way to overcome is to hold to the truth. Verse 14. Revelation 3, verse 14. And unto the angel of the assembly of the Laodiceans write these things, says the Amen, the faithful and truth witness, the beginning of the creation of Elohim. Is the beginning of creation. Who? Yahshua. He is the beginning of creation. He was created. The Father gave him power to create. I know thy works. This is what is it again? This Gentile, Israelite, now Gentile Christian believers, they say, there's no work. Because the law is cancelled, it's written away. Who said? Yahshua said, I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou what cold or not. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Leviticus 20 verse 22. Because thou sayest, I am rich, am increased with goods. This is where their heart is. This is why they are not listening. This is why they are lukewarm. When you are teaching them, when you are telling them the truth, they are putting their ears elsewhere. Even when you are even making effort, they are arguing with you. Don't tell me, who are you? I'm all right. I'm comfortable. Oh, the word. I mean, in terms of money, in terms of what, you are not my size. You are not, get away. Because thou sayest, I am rich and increased with goods, and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched. These people, because of their money, because of their wealth, because of their position, because of their academic level and so on, or qualification, they say, look, you are not qualified. Because they see a farmer coming to teach them how to hear the voice of Yahweh and how to obey his commandments, his covenant commandment. They say, look, you are not qualified. Get away. Yahshua said, you that is telling his servant to get away, you are wretched. You are miserable and poor and blind and naked. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire. What is gold tried in the fire? Yahshua has it. He is the source. He is life. He is purity. He is holiness. He is righteousness. He is the word of Yahweh. Come to him and receive that word. You will have life. And you eat it. You drink of it. You have life. That thou mayest be rich. Our wealth is not by what we get on our own. When we receive his righteousness and his, find our way into the kingdom, that is getting to understand how to enter into that kingdom. And he said to help us enter into that kingdom. He will add. Here, he's saying, come to me. I will add to you. You will know how to be rich. and white raiment. You will become clean, become pure, become holy, become righteous, that thou mayest be clothed, so that you'll be covered, you'll be sealed, you'll be protected. Yahweh will be looking at, when the trouble is on the ground, he will be looking at those to save, only those that is into the covenant commandment and following Yahshua. They are going to be clothed. Already he said, wait, don't destroy the earth, don't destroy anything yet until I seal my people. When he comes to seal his people, will you be found ready? Will you be found clean? Will you be found pure? Will you be found in obedience? Will you be found worshiping him as he has prescribed? Revelation chapter 14, 6 to 11. Would you be seen doing all those? And that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear. Shame. Sin brings shame. Sin brings reproach. Sin brings nakedness. Sin brings mockery. You know, people will laugh at you. When the people are not seeing it now, when the time is on board, on ground, even they themselves will see it. They will know that they have been strayed. And they will cry. Our father has taught us lies. Our father has told us lies. That's what they will cry. Who is their father that? But they have the Bible. They have the word. That's why the judgment is without pity. Because you're supposed to judge yourself in advance. If you judge yourself, nobody will judge you. That is the criteria. And anoint thy eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. The word is what we use for cleansing. Say, the word I speak to you has, washed you already. You don't need to be washed again. The word has washed you. As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. He's chastening us today. He's rebuking us today. He's asking us, open your mind, open your eyes, judge yourself. Be zealous. Israel, we are zealous, but on the wrong path. They love the traditions, the commandments of men, the laws of men. They left Yahweh, the faith in Yahshua, to follow him. And when Yahshua came, the Jewish people said, we don't need you. We are waiting for another. That's unfortunate. And repent. So all we need to do is repent. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice, this is the voice of Yahweh going into the world now. The voice of Yahweh through Yahshua unto us, and Yahshua sent us into the world to speak these truths that are open. It's open now. It was sealed in Daniel, but now it is open. This is Revelation. Revelation opened Daniel and all the word that is sealed. Because in Isaiah it said, seal the law on my prophets. But it is now open. It's now open to us all. And Yahshua is now coming to every one of us, particularly the lukewarms, knocking at the doors of their heart. Open, open, hear this word. If you hear this word, it will be well with you. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he will with me. To him that overcometh. So who is overcomer? Overcomer is the one that pay attention to his word, hear his word, obey his covenant commandment, follow Yahshua. He must be overcomer. He must overcome. Without that, somebody is wasting time. Chasing shadows. I'm rich, I'm wealthy, I'm this, I'm that. Forget it. To him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame and am set down with my Father in his throne. Yes, right now Yahshua is enjoying with the Father in heaven. And he said he's coming to us. He's coming back to us. So that we will have the same enjoyment with him in the kingdom. In fact, I was looking at marriage supper of the Lamb. Before that, I will mention it before we close. He that has an height, an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the assemblies. So it's the Spirit that is helping us today to speak to our brethren in the assemblies of Yahweh. assemblies or congregations of Yahweh are Israelites that are scattered all over the world. But there are some that are lukewarm still. I've said it. Many of them are in Christianity, because when Rome conquered Jerusalem, many of our brethren joined, because they were making a pact, they were making an agreement. For you to have your life and live, become a Christian. And they signed to become Christians. And they told them, no Sabbath. That law is taken away. They told them the covenant commandment, you must follow it our own way, because the covenant commandment is written, but they have changed lots of things there. So Sabbath becomes, Sunday becomes Sabbath. The 10th commandment was taken away. No. The second commandment was taken away, because image is what Rome know. They tear it from the Bible and replace it with one of the, replace the second. When you look at their Bible, you think they have 10 commandments. 10 is there, but the 10th commandment was, shared into two to make it look, to replace the one they removed. So that commandment was mutilated here and there. Most of the things were removed at the end of the day, so that they teach the word grace. And the world is living in grace today. So whatever you are worshiping, if you are worshiping on Friday or Sunday or Monday or other than that particular commanded, there's what is called commanded. The word of Yahweh is commandment. He is compulsory. It's a covenant. You must do it, or else you don't have life in him. So that is his own way. If you must abide with me, must go my way, you must abide with my word. So that is what his commandment, his law, must be abided upon. Otherwise, somebody will not have a chance in the kingdom. Romans chapter 10, 2 to 3. Romans 10, Apostle Paul spoke about his brothers, Israel. And that is what we are talking about this morning. It's unfortunate that Israel didn't get it. They have the zeal. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to Elohim for Israel is that they might be saved. Let me read it again. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to Elohim for Israel is that they might be saved. How will we be saved? All we are discussing since is how Israel must be saved. How Israel should be protected, particularly in these latter days. Because the enemy is after them. It's not after the rest of the world, which is the gentile world. Even when they want to reduce the population of the world to 500 million of 7 point whatever million, 7.2 or 7.3 million, they want to reduce for just little negligible number, 500 million, 0.5 billion, 0.5. What is 0.5 billion? When you compare to 7.2 or 7.3 billion. Billion, not million. Now, this number, Bill Gates, according to his, whatever he's been fronting for, he was a computer guru, Microsoft and so on. He left it, he abandoned it, he entered into population control ever since. That has been his plan. And that is why we are getting all these things we are getting. And Fauci helping him, and some other agencies. And they carry this into Wuhan. And you get coronavirus everywhere. What they have in their heart, at the end of the day, Israelites are being pursued. Somebody may not know it. I have zeal. Desire and my prayer is for Israel, that Yahweh spare them, so that they be saved in these latter days, so that they will not perish in these latter days. For I bear them a record that they have a zeal of Elohim, but not according to knowledge. They want to serve Yahweh, but not according to knowledge. And because of this, his heart bleeds, because the mentality of his people is outside the truth, outside the covenant. For they being ignorant, you see, you can see those who Daniel is talking about, those who the trial, the test is meant for. Revelation chapter 3. For they being ignorant of Yahweh's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of Elohim. For Messiah is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone that believeth. What Israel is pursuing is in Yahshua. What Israel is pursuing, how to use law to earn and get righteousness, is in Yahshua. But for them, running after the law, Torah, to fulfill the righteousness therein, they will fail. They will stumble. And unfortunately, on these people who are, seeking after self-righteousness and all that, the end of the law, the custodian of the law, Torah himself, the word of Yahweh, which is the law, and whose name is Yahshua, the embodiment of the law, came to them and they rejected. Because since the embodiment of the law is Yahshua, and they are using the law to enter into righteousness, Yahshua said, I have the way. I know there is method, there is, principles, how to, even believe and use the law, believe in it, and you'll be saved. So it must be through me. You call it faith. You will have faith to queue, and he will give you the grace. What is the grace there? The grace is love, joy, peace, holiness, understanding, knowledge, wisdom, faith, self-control, everything that is the virtue of righteousness. That is because without this empowered grace, we cannot obey the law. That is what the scripture said. So that all that resides in the spirit of Yahshua that is inside him. So he is the embodiment of the law, of the Torah, which these people are seeking for. So if we understand that what we are looking for on ourselves, self-righteousness, we want to, acquire the righteousness by our own mindset, by our own way of thinking, that what we are looking for is in the hands of Yahshua, and we go to him, he will empower us. Then it will be freedom galore. You will be free to do what? To obey the law, obey the commandments. Now, that is not a teaching that the law is cancelled. No! The law is not cancelled. The law is not removed. So these Jewish people are like our brothers who are far and near today, who follow other religions. They are outside the truth. They're outside the covenant. They're outside the body, the one that is the owner, the custodian of, the very word of Yahweh, which we need to seek to live. And if we don't make haste before the D-Day, before the trouble begin to ensue, Israel may be in trouble. Today we have talked much about the difficulty Israel is going to encounter in these last days and how they are going to overcome that difficulty. Yahshua said, overcome. Then you enter into the kingdom. And he has given us all the way without, all the guidelines, all the understanding in keying unto him, keying unto the word of Yahweh, unto the covenant that the fathers made. Follow it because it's not destroyed. Then he will guide our heart because he gave us his spirit, and he did. The spirit is with us, and with the spirit we are guided into all truth every time, 24 hours. Then when he comes, what will happen? There will be preparation for us to enjoy him. finished? We'll be ready to enjoy him. We will take to the marriage supper of the Lamb. And that's where people talk about rapture and all that. They will be raptured into heaven, where they will celebrate, do the marriage supper of the Lamb in heaven with Yahweh. And that is not the teaching of the scriptures. The teaching of the scriptures is that we are going to meet with him somewhere. And most of us, we don't know where that meeting is. I think we'll continue from here next week. And we look at that marriage supper of the Lamb. Is meant for Israel. It's not meant for the Christians. It's not meant for the religious world of today. It's meant for Israel. Israel is captured by the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Israel. They are one. They must be one in these last days. Yahweh is gathering them together. And the Gentile world that is grafted into the household of Israel. So every one of us is going to come under umbrella of Yahshua, our leader, our Messiah, and our Savior. And he is going to do the deliverance, protection, defense. And he will take us there. And by the time he will be taking us there, we will stop somewhere and we will enjoy marriage relationship, a new contract, new covenant. Kind of new covenant. Husband and wife coming together. There is agreement. So there will be kind of agreement that will be put in place. Jeremiah 31, that agreement is been, met, but certain portion of it is still yet to be fulfilled. In these latter days, within the periphery of the covenant, the marriage supper of the Lamb, that will be done. And some people say in heaven, some people say in Jerusalem, some people say in the world, and so on. We will know where it is by next week. So Yahweh helping us. We'll continue to look at Israel, and perhaps we'll be entering the land next week as well, and look at the blessing that follow it. Yahweh will help us to get this topic concluded. By the time we are through, you will know whom you are. As an Israelite, your rights, the do's and don'ts, the obligations you have for Yahweh, for your brothers, and how you shine your eyes. Yahshua said, your eyes must be, he will give you eyelash or eye salve to get your eyes open so that you'll be able to know what you're supposed to know. Some people are not pursuing that. But Yahweh help us. May he bless us. May he give us grace. It's all about making up our mind. Do we want to be saved? If we want to be saved, is the scriptures, the Bible, what is in the Bible. Get hold of it. Follow it, because that is the concrete, evidence to get through or to overcome whatever that is going to be unleashed. Yahshua being our protection as we hold on to him.
Keeping the Sabbath.